I'm the girl you hate. Come on and see me. If you notice, like the promotions for All Stars, they was like, anything you want to tell the haters? I said, hate on me early, because I sell out. My website is silkyganache.com. I got a sale right now. Go ahead and get this whole stuff. I hate the word them and they. And now we're trying to use it as a pronoun. And for me, personally, it's very triggering. Because being in the South, they call the gays them and they. I do majorette dancing. And back in those days, when the male majorettes would come out to the battle of the bands, they're announced, bring it out to the stage, them. And they will come out. Zoom in, baby.
I love you.
Oh my God.
You know, I had to do that. I'm trying to get a husband, honey.
Hey,
Sean.
what's going on? My
Wait.
favorite people. These are the people I've been waiting to see all week. What? Oh, that's dope.
Check this out.
I like it. I don't know who that is.
I don't know
like
who it is, but you right.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good.
Welcome back. Glad to see you all. Y'all looking beautiful as always.
Thank you.
I need to get me a stylist like y'all.
So
I'm glad
it's
you
the
asked.
beauty in the heart. I think all the beauty lies in our hearts too, huh?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We just got to
the only-
project it.
Yep, that's the only place it matters, in the heart.
I believe. Pesto stuffed mushrooms. Sausage, Parmesan, and mozzarella cheeses are the dream team members for this mushroom. This sustainable appetizer is high in fiber and flavor.
Oh.
And stuffed.
Like you have us.
All the time.
Love it.
So I was sitting back thinking, and I was like, a couple of weeks ago, I shared with y'all that a few friends of mine kind of talked me into going to culinary school and becoming a chef, right? So I was wondering, did you guys have friends who supported you for one and kind of guided you and helped you find your path or send you on your way to becoming who you are now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, my best friend, his name is Keith Clinkscale. Shout out, Keith.
Shout out, Keith.
And what's significant about our relationship, Keith's straight. And one of the things that was really important to him was that I be me.
Yeah.
And him be him. So we did everything together. So having that kind of support, we went to the gay clubs together, we went to the straight clubs together, and he was always like we rode together.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I think that really changed how I was able to move in the environments and relate to other people.
Yeah.
When your friend, your best friend can accept you.
And he's still my best friend.
Right on.
I think that's important because a lot of people have their own made-up opinions about others and all that. So when you find somebody who accepts you for you,
And in that situation, what's interesting is because he ran the risk of being,
Right.
oh, you must be gay, your best friend is gay, that whole
Right.
thing, and that was never, he didn't worry about that. And a lot of straight guys can't do that.
Well, I have a friend coming today to join us. This is where we met in West Hollywood. I like to think that she's a friend of mine. But she is an icon. I'm telling you, this is massive, y'all. This is royalty from RuPaul's Drag Race, Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
Oh, yes.
Hailing from Moss Point, Mississippi, Reginald Steele, better known as the Reverend Dr. Silky Nutmeg Ganache, is best known for her appearance on Season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race and RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, Season 6. Silky also touts a master's degree in organizational leadership and is pursuing her doctorate in philosophy. Her grandmother stressed that education is the single thing in life no one could ever take away from you. As a survivor of Hurricane Katrina, that is a reality that Silky knows all too well. After college, Silky Silky burst onto the drag scene in Chicago, discovering a hidden talent that she never planned on exploring. She has also endured the negative side effects of expressing her opinion publicly in the form of backlash on social media to outright death threats. But Silky has weathered the storms remarkably. Silky has used her business mind to not only build her brand, but she also wrote a cocktail recipe book to honor her drag sisters entitled Cocktails for a Queen.
You gave your best friend, I'll shout out my best friend. I would say, so I don't want to like leave people out. Don't you feel guilty about leaving out friends?
Well, you know, it's funny you said that because when I thought about it, I thought, okay, my other core friends who are thinking like, oh, but no, I mean, everybody knows that the dynamic that Keith and I had was a special one, and it doesn't minimize my other close friends at all.
Yeah, I'll say I've had close friends at different periods, and then I still consider them close friends, but I've had one friend that I talk to every day. There's only one, and that's Misa. All my friends are female, by the way.
Oh.
Like literally all of them.
Why do you think that is for you?
Well, you know, being gay is kind of like I see guys as, you know, sexual interest or not sexual interest, or I'm always afraid that they think that I'm interested. So I just shut myself off from guys. I don't know.
And when we talk about friends, that's a hard word. And, you know, they say if you find one in a lifetime, you lucky, you blessed. Mm-hmm. And what was it? We were supposed to have friends and supporters. None of them believed in me. They all laughed at me.
Your friends?
Like
Oh,
Carrie.
I had none of them really believed.
So did you not have any friends, or just you had friends
I
that
don't
were
use that word
foes?
loose. I have frenemies, a lot of them.
Oh, you a lot of frenemies.
Frenemies. I have
What
a
do you
lot
do
of
to
those.
create those?
I have a lot of frenemies. I have very, very, very few friends. We use the word too loosely. It's the truth.
Shady Chris.
No, it's not shady. It was a question.
Shady Chris.
I am
I
here to
build
tell you.
friendships. So I don't, so I create friendships.
I absolutely
So she says I
love
have a lot of
any
frenemies.
question. Yes.
So I said, what do you do to create those?
Well, all I can say to you is whatever they feel.
It's them. It's not you.
Hold on.
It's
Never
always them.
dictates my peace. I'm very guarded. You feel me?
Oh, I
are,
do.
People who are uncomfortable
Am
in
I
their
a frenemy?
skin. No, Chris, we've gotten to know each other. Chris loves me. Do you know, it's just like when you're little and you're in a third grade class and the little girl or boy want to punch you all the time. They love you.
I never had that experience.
They love
I
you.
haven't either, Cheryl. I have to say.
Well, that's good you haven't. Allow me to tell you mine.
Okay.
Duh, neither one of you have had it.
No.
So
Why
I
would
get to
somebody
tell
wanna
you mine.
punch you all the time?
I said it's like.
Oh, like, okay. So
No, I
that
said
wasn't
it's
literally what was happening.
Did you see how you perceive that? Everyone's perception
No.
is different.
Cheryl,
It's
I
okay.
didn't. I asked. I didn't
That's
perceive
what I was
anything. I was
saying.
clarifying what you
That's
said.
no problem. This is what people must understand. Anyone can have any reaction to anything you say or do. When you internalize it, you give them power.
Cheryl, if someone's asking you a clarity question about something that you said, do you feel like that's a reaction?
No, I had said no.
Well, I'm not talking about Chris.
No, I had said like, and I didn't say me, and then you internalized said, oh, so what, they punched you for what? No.
Yeah, but when you say, like in the third grade, if somebody wants to punch
It's
you, I
like-
was curious as
it's
to
like-
why were they
and I'm
wanting to
back
punch
say,
you?
When you find someone that's always picking on you for some reason, or you see, and people see, it's so transparent. They love you. It's the truth.
So the people who want to punch you love you.
Oh, if you find someone always jugging at you, heck yeah, they in love with you. It's something about you that
I think there are a lot of people in abusive relationships that would not agree with that.
Well, that's what I feel.
Okay.
I really do. When
And
you
that is your
find-
feeling.
Now, let me say this. If you're in a relationship and then you have someone that's constantly jugging at you and saying things to try to be condescending and bring you down, might not want to be in that relationship.
Great. Let's take a break.
Great. Let's take a bite.
So something you just said made me think when you brought up not judging. Honestly, I think a lot of people don't even know how to not judge. Like what is it? Like how do you not judge? Like what do you tell yourself when you start to judge? Like how do you stop that?
That's a good point. I said we try to become less judgmental because we're human beings. Human beings are judgmental. If I ever hear somebody say, I'm not judgmental, I look at them and say, that's not true. I'm not from Mars or Jupiter. I'm human, so I'm judgmental, but I try to be less judgmental. How do you stop it?
I think you tell yourself it's okay. If you act in a way that I don't like, I tell myself it's okay. she's who she is. She's doing what she does, and it's okay.
But when someone else does that, besides Cheryl, you don't say that.
I'm saying this is what it means to be non-judgmental. You tell yourself, whatever voice is saying, that is bad behavior, that's annoying, that's wrong.
I get those all the time.
The other voice says, it's okay. It's okay for that person to act that way. It's okay because that's what they do.
But then there are people that you don't say it's okay to. So when they act a way that you don't approve of, then you say it's not okay. But then for certain people, you say it is okay. So that how do you decide when this person behaves abruptly or disorderly, it's okay. But then when this person does it, it's not okay. So how do you make that choice?
With his judgment.
When it affects me directly.
Oh, so when you're personally affected by
when I'm
it, then
personally
it's not okay.
It is not okay.
Is that a judgment?
It's not a judgment.
It's a decision.
It's a correct statement. It is not okay to bring your
you.
issues to me. It's
Okay.
not okay. So what I do, I try to cut off the access to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
because
excellent.
it's not okay. It's not okay for you to bring your issues
That's
to me.
right.
That's right.
What you perceive is wrong with a problem. Yeah, you know, the person. Could you imagine with what it took to get here? I've been through so much pain. I have a lot of people. I'll start singing in the midst of the store. Well, what they saying is, where'd you get her freedom from? Oh, of course we're
Silky saves the day.
Crunch, crunch on you bitches. Black History Forever. That's our greeting for today.
How you doing, Silky?
Yes, come on.
We gonna take that with us.
Come on,
I know it
beautiful.
smelled good. Y'all eating up in here. Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
All right.
Awesome.
Welcome
Oh,
to
you look
the
beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Way too kind. Thank you.
Style, baby.
The queen of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. I mean, you really stole the show on that one.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, I didn't do nothing but my job.
And still in the show right now, baby. What you say? It ain't my fault.
Ain't my fault. I just showed up. I'm here.
Oh, and
We're
we
glad
are
to
honored.
have you.
Thank you.
Honored.
Yes,
Look, we
what
got
an
some
amazing
coming.
guest.
Oh,
We got some coming for you.
We got
Oh,
some.
wow.
Oh,
Ooh, yes. That looks so good. Oh, it smells
how you
amazing.
doing?
I'm great. How are you?
The better now, baby.
I aim to please, you know.
And which way?
You know what, Sean?
She done made me bashful now. Cow Zone. Don't leave anyone alone with a cow zone. They'll be gone before you know it. An Italian favorite baked in a salted bread dough that's stuffed with mozzarella cheese, ricotta, parmesan, savory pepperoni, and baked to perfection in a brick fire oven. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you.
very much, Sean.
Oh, thanks, John.
so Silky, how did you start doing drag?
It was a complete accident. I never wanted to do drag. I had friends that were drag queens. I never wanted to do drag. And March 17th of 2012, I did a show to represent my college, Wabash College. And
What college?
Wabash College
Okay,
in Indiana.
Wabash. Shout out.
All men, all liberal arts, predominantly white institution. And I represented my college at another school. Made a ton of money. It was sickening. It was everything. And then I hung up drag for about another year. Wow. And then all of a sudden I was dared to do a pageant. Did the pageant, got first runner up. And then I was like, I want to do pageants. But that's where it is. You know, like a drag show, you typically just entertain and have a good time. But in a pageant, there are categories. And one thing that I like to pride myself on, I'm a smart queen. So I'm always going to get you an interview and Q&A.
Come on now.
And then I'm going to win talent.
Ooh.
Now, you may slip up and get me if there's like a swimsuit category.
Voluptuous, baby.
Or even, yes.
Voluptuous. What you
Yes.
say? You don't need all those
Well, at
swimsuits.
that time, I didn't know how to form this body,
Baby,
you know,
'cause you
so.
forming it now.
Thank you. You know, I'm glad that you noticed.
And your spirit.
Don't thank me. Thank God. He created it. I just showed up.
Oh.
And on the show, Rue would always call you Dr. Reverend. What was that? Are you the actual Reverend?
I am ordained, and I was a minister of music for 5 years, and so I played piano, directed the choir, and led devotional praise and worship and all of that good stuff for a very long time. So even to my thing of entertaining, I learned to entertain in church.
Where you from, baby?
Mississippi.
What part?
Moss Point.
Okay,
Biloxi.
shout out.
Yes.
Shout out.
I'm down there. They love me, honey.
Oh, I know that.
I recently moved back home. My family was having a hard time during COVID, and they kept begging me. I was living here in West Hollywood, and I was like, no. And then I finally gave in and moved back home, and it's been such a rewarding experience because I didn't realize that my family missed me so much. Because when I packed up and went to college, I said I'm never coming back.
Wow.
Of course.
And so I would go home twice a year, no more than a week, because they got on my nerves about a week point. No, but I moved back home, and I was happy to go back home, and now I'm in the process of trying to buy a house in Houston. If they allow my black ass, it's been such a struggle to get a house, you know.
Really? Why? Why is it a struggle?
I have a lovely down payment saved, and in addition to that, I'm someone black with a 400. How dare me?
I'll say there's the problem.
I had to cut myself out. Said 400.
Okay, look, the plane just came back.
Right, come back. With a 700. I have a 700 credit score. But with COVID and everything,
Challenging time.
people are not wanting, like, because I'm technically a small business, no one wants to give to a small business. Because they say we're all risk, especially during COVID time. So I'm like, come on, let me get my house. But since they didn't want to, I said I'll wait till the end of the year and I pay
You're
cash.
smart, baby. Whoa.
Since you don't want to give it to me,
Preach.
and I did everything right. I got me a 700 credit score, black.
I know.
700 credit. Black.
Baby, you think we don't feel you at this table?
Baby,
Huh.
you know what I had to do?
700.
I don't have
I know.
generational wealth, but I got me a lovely bank account with a lovely down payment
Could you
and
take
another
care
bank
of your
account with a
business?
furniture budget, because I got,
Ooh, you ready.
baby, let me tell you
been taking care of
something.
your business,
I ain't
baby.
buying no house and sleeping on no air mattress, no ma'am.
When you said that you said when you left to go away to school that you weren't going back, what was the thinking there?
Because I always said that I lived in Moss Point where dreams don't come true. And I went to a predominantly black school. But I did things in school, like I was an ambassador for the United States when I was in high school. So I had a passport in high school. I missed 36 days of school my senior year in high school, and they were all college visits.
Wow.
I made like I think the test is an ASVAB, 89 on the ASVAB in high school. Every military branch wanted me.
Wow.
And they came to my house and they would see this little fat chunky kid and they was just like, we got 3 months and we can get 100 pounds off you. And so like, it was just unheard of, like the things that I did.
You were doing in
that I was
community.
achieving, like especially like in high school and a Coca-Cola scholar, like these things were unheard of. And
You are a voice for the young people right now saying no matter where you are, huh?
But now when you say
Absolutely.
unheard of, you're just specifically saying it's unheard of for the area in where you grew up.
not only for the area where I grew up, but at that time in television, there wasn't anybody like us, like me,
baby.
like on
That's right,
television. I think that was back in 2008. I graduated high school, so 2007, all this craziness going on. RuPaul's Drag Race didn't occur until 2008.
Okay.
And so like, you know, that's when we start to see like the RuPaul Drag Race. But you
Yes.
know, you saw like a little bit of Noah's Ark, but in Mississippi, where you gonna watch that at?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the
Good point.
first and great thing that I could have ever saw, and my real introduction to drag, was the movie Holiday Heart.
Power of the
That's a
media.
very touching movie.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I remember being, I think 10 or 11, and I had an aunt. I think she always knew that I was gonna be gay. My mama will tell now when she knew I was gonna be gay as a kid. But like, she watched that movie and she basically made us all watch it. We was all kids. And you know, Mississippi, there was a lot of kids same age. So she made us put on that movie and we had a discussion afterwards about what it means to be a man. And even if you are gay, you still can be a man. Look how this gay man took care of this little girl, her struggling mother, and her insane boyfriend, you know?
Empower.
Do you think that that was some effort by your mom to try to see how to acknowledge what she was recognizing in you, but then to...
That was my aunt.
It was your aunt.
Oh, your aunt did that. Okay.
Right.
Do you think it was her way of saying, I recognize something, but I want to also equip you with this strength and power that was in the movie? Okay.
And so
Okay.
at that moment,
Absolutely.
you're looking at the
Wow.
movie, and after
Wow.
the discussion,
Okay.
what?
That's great.
I was thinking, like, oh my goodness. I was thinking in my mind, well, it wasn't even about dragging anything. I was like, there's someone like me, because I knew I was gay at a very young age. Wow. Like, baby, I came out with purses out my mouth and everything. I twirl batons and everything. Like, I just knew, like, and I think everybody knew. Like, I always say what's understood need no explanation. So I never had
Chris
like
said
an
earlier.
official
I say
coming
that all
out.
the time.
For
That's
real.
what Chris said earlier.
Absolutely. So, you know, like, it helped a lot. Like, I think that movie helped me more than what she know or what I've even told her in life now. But I think it helped her. But not only me. She was telling, you know, all the kids about how to be tolerant to other people that are not like you. And that's
Say
a
that
very
word again.
important, tolerant. About how, you know, like we throw around tolerance all the time, but, you know, if it's somebody that's not like you or somebody that you don't morally agree with,
Yes.
how to treat them human.
Any old way. Be
Yeah.
tolerant.
And it's so funny you use that word tolerance. I actually dislike the word. And
As an adult now, yes.
I actually prefer acceptance, because I feel like you tolerating me means in some way that I require your approval.
Kind of put up with you.
Yes, I
until
have to deal
you
with
don't
you.
have to, kind of thing.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I get that now as an adult. But I think in that time,
It makes sense.
being like she lived on a dirt road in Mississippi,
Okay.
that's all she knew.
Yeah.
So I have to accept that
makes
from her.
Yes.
It was
Gotcha.
it was the level of understanding and language. We actually had a debate earlier offset about just language, and that, you know, just kind of how certain words are triggers for people, and they actually inspire you to feel a certain way, and some people are triggered by them in different ways than others, and so that they actually have different meanings. And so have you had words, especially coming from the South, and then now being in this Hollywood platform, where you have been now like making this sort of transition to understanding things differently because the language is different?
I know I'm the queen of controversy, apparently.
Preach.
Have me a sip of drink.
Okay, I'll join.
To acceptance. To acceptance. 'Cause what I'm about to say, I hope that y'all accept me afterwards. I hope y'all accept me afterwards. But
Maybe they either gonna accept me or just let me make your skin crawl. Whichever one.
okay. And whoever served that, thank you.
When I was trying to change, I shot dope. I was trying to fit in. This one didn't like me, this one didn't like me. What can I do to be liked? And it took me to hell. I'm back.
Don't that take you to hell?
Baby, it's a hell.
It
Trying
sure
to be
will.
everything everybody else wants you to be. Go ahead, please, baby.
There are two words that I really dislike in our community is accepting and using. I hate the word them and they. And now we're trying to use it as a pronoun. And for me, personally, it's very triggering. Because being in the South, they call the gays them and they. I do majorette dancing. And back in those days, when the male majorettes would come out to the battle of the bands, they're announced, bring it out to the stage, them.
Yep.
And they will come out. So, you know, now we say them and they, and I think our generation, they say it's to be gender neutral, but I feel like you should give me that same respect to ask me what are my pronouns and not use anything. And I'm plus size. So, of course, as a kid, look at them over there. And they was talking about me as one person. So I absolutely hate them and they. Absolutely hate it.
Wow.
And when people say that to me, I correct them. You can use he or she. Preferably she. 'Cause, bitch, you know, I'm over
You
here
to cheat up. Okay.
Because I'm the one. But I'm, you know, but that's what. Those are two triggering, very, very triggering because I saw myself in those guys. And then a few years later, the Prancing Elites came out with a television show. And those were the guys that I saw as a kid. And they have their own show now.
Media.
And, you know, like, it's like how crazy that was, you know?
It's so funny
Absolutely.
because my reaction to them and they is so different. It is about just the English of it, not just the language of it, and the idea that you want me to refer to a singular person as a group of people. And so I struggle with it for that reason. So I
that's the
love this
joke.
dynamic.
That's the fat kid.
And I never heard that perspective. I'm so loving you right now for this because it's another perspective. Oh,
We're gonna take a break.
Okay, we're gonna take a break. Okay.
Take a quick break.
Thank
and
We're
we'll
gonna take a
come
break?
back.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Well, while we take that break.
Oh my goodness.
So Silky, earlier you were saying that you are an ordained minister. Were you openly gay as a minister?
No,
Okay.
not at all. But the funny part about it is when I had started doing drag, the whole choir would come see me. So I think it was everybody knew that I'd done drag except the minister and his wife. And the wife, when she found out, had a thing. She was not tolerable, but she throws stones at glass houses because Miss Thane be smoking cigarettes in her car at the church parking lot. But you know, like they had an issue with it to where it seemed like they wasn't going to make me comfortable any longer. So I guess not having music in church was better than having a gay man in church. But mind you, I never understood the dynamic because the choir director of the church at the time, she was a married woman, but she had a girlfriend that everybody knew about and that came to church.
And that was okay.
That was okay at
Women get
times.
away with stuff.
No, it really wasn't okay.
Yeah.
But she was the choir director, so they felt like she was,
Yeah.
needed.
And women don't get as persecuted.
Oh, no. But she also had a husband and kids.
I love her for all that.
Wait.
I love her for all that.
So the girlfriend she had was a chick on the side.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Like an open relationship, open marriage or something.
Okay, got it.
And so they had that going on, and I guess they really never preached about, like, against homosexuality. It wasn't until, I'm never gonna forget this, I came back, I was living in Indianapolis, and I would try to travel back to go to church services when I could. And there was this one particular Sunday I went, I never forget it because I went back to go to the college graduation. So I started this job when I was in college. And so I went to the graduation and one of the deacons got up before the church, very hostile, saying that someone is playing with God. And at this point, I was like, oh, I know where this is about to go. I already knew. And so I'm packing up my keyboard and everything, and I'm going to my car, and he trying to scream scriptures at me and this, that, and the other. And I'm just paying him no mind. Because at this point, I'm like, really? And so all this happened. I go ahead and not let it change my day. The following Sunday, they did altar call. I go up.
Uh-oh.
They always allow people to say what they wanted to say before the church. And I said, Pastor, I was condemned in this church. And I don't like being condemned in this church for all the works that I've done. Because mind you, not only was I the minister of music, I was over the youth department. And people's in church a little lazy, I must admit, and being in the South, like, we keep church a certain standard. So I would go into church and clean it and change the flowers in the windows and, kept the beautification of the church up because that's what I was taught being in the South. And I said something, and the pastor's response was, well, if there's smoke, there must be fire. Something to the extent of that, whatever that phrase is. And I said, oh, mind you, there's a sign on the door, on the back of the church that said, we're under construction, excuse the mess. We're repairing the church one member at a time or something like that. And so I was just like,
now.
even with that sign, you're gonna allow your members to condemn me. Because not only, I'm not a member of your church, I'm an employee. So God bless you. And until you do right by me, everything you think of is gonna fail. That's what I said, and I left the church. 6 months later, they didn't have the church.
Wow.
And so like now they're having church like in, this has been maybe 8 years. They're still having it like in like a dance studio. So it's like a dance studio in the day, Sunday is a church.
Disco church.
Yes.
No, it's not.
And so I left it like
They
that.
lost the church. That was a Sophia
I
move.
think for real.
I mean, no, not Sophia. The other one.
Miss Seeley.
Miss Seeley move. A Miss Seeley
But I
move.
think people
Got over that hurt instantly. You were like,
no, I didn't.
okay.
Because until I played piano for All Stars, until that moment, and that was like 5 years, I didn't play piano.
Wow.
I felt like, and I stopped singing. Because I sing, like I can sing. But I stopped. It just, something about that whole situation kind of stopped me.
Yes.
And I think more so than stopping me, it just built up a wall to these church people. I was just like, you know what? My talents can go elsewhere. And that's why I say I never wanted to do drag. But I feel like God put you in places that you need to be. So in drag, although I'm not in church preaching or teaching or singing the word of God, I'm at a drag show and I'm like, okay, sis, you got a problem with substance. We gonna get you off this. Now I done told you this, and your world is flipped upside down. Come on into my house, and we gonna detox. I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna sit there and pray with you. That's all I know to do. So that's why I became
And you've seen the
doing
work,
it.
haven't you?
Yeah,
Because that's love.
and you know, I got hate on season 11. I don't understand why, because I was just being real.
Because you bad.
Maybe I was too real for TV at
Come
the
on
time.
and preach now.
But at the same time, I kept it real
That's all you
and
do.
nothing fake. And when it all went to shambles, I was like, okay, Miss Silky, what are you gonna do?
How did it go to shambles? What do you mean?
I say it went to shambles because I went to the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race knowing that I wasn't gonna win. I'm a finalist.
You know what? Hold that, because this is juicy, and we're gonna go to break, and we'll come back and hear all about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Back to the
Right,
house.
as juicy as this cow's on, baby.
And I'm gonna
For
eat.
your honesty, baby.
Okay.
It's delicious too.
It's
no, no,
wonderful.
Just before we went to break, you were mentioning that when you were going to the finale, you said you were already aware of how the outcome was going to be.
It was a lot going on, like, especially for me during season 11. Gotta get this cocktail.
Ooh, wee.
All right. Look at this.
Wow.
That's the freshest lime I've seen in a while.
Let's see.
I cut them up just nice for you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Oh,
Welcome.
it's delicious. What is it?
So what I have for you all, I've mixed Smirnoff vodka with cranberry juice, lime juice, and simple syrup, and it's called the Pink Cosmo. And this is for Silky, who lives out loud, fearless, and unapologetic, and has fun doing it.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
Baby, and it's a silky sip.
Yeah.
Like it?
Ooh.
It's strong.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what they say? Mississippi, strong.
Wrong.
I want a strong man.
that's
You know?
The hair
This is
on your
strong.
Yes,
that with me
so
now.
it's delicious.
Baby, I can't, I ain't gonna be,
I
see
need
what I'm
a
saying?
right. Just a slow hand. It just needs a slow hand. And a gentle touch.
Okay.
Thank you,
I
sir.
can't drink too much of that, because then my laser hair remover is gonna be working against me, honey. Honey, I'm smooth for a reason, honey.
Oh, baby.
Now, what was happening? What was happening with this? You know, this about?
I'm just getting that sip.
Right. I knew I wasn't gonna win. Like, I was too much for season 11. And the main reason is being, like, I didn't realize how the television game go. So I didn't realize everything that I said, people were gonna try to make me a contradictory of it. So, for example, I said that like at the very beginning, I'm black, I'm smart, I got multiple degrees. So people would Google me and be like, these degrees are fake, they're this, they're
Don't I understand
baby,
that?
and I'm like, I got real sheepskin, because my college does the diploma on sheepskin. You have to get a special diploma frame for it, baby. They cost $300. So I know mine is real. I ain't pay that $300.
I feel you.
Baby, let me tell you something.
And all that hell you went through getting it.
It wasn't no hell, because I just sent a friend to the bookstore and I said, come back.
You know what?
I'm just lying. I'm lying. Because my college watch me, honey. And they will send me a bill. No, that wasn't it.
And you got a lot of backlash. Like, what was the worst kind of feedback, the worst things that happened by the fans?
That they were gonna come kill me.
You get that crazy.
And it had gotten that crazy, but I'm the type of person, I ain't scared. If my time on this earth is limited,
Oh, you better pray.
let me go.
That's right.
And I had already, something very, very real was I made out my funeral arrangements with my family because all of this was going on. So I was like, okay, so if you're gonna get me, this where I'm gonna be at. This is my hotel room. And it took like Akira, Raja, and Vanjie to be like, okay, Silky, you can't play into this, you got to stop. Because I was just like, if you're gonna come get me, come get me. Because if not, I'm gonna come get this $8,000 booking.
I feel you.
So you come get me with my $8,000 booking when security gonna be around me if you that bold.
I heard that, baby.
And so, but in the midst of that, while I was, doing that, it also made a lot of clubs very fearful. So some of my bookings got canceled because they was just like, we're scared that people are gonna come shoot us up like posts.
Yeah.
So like I got like a lot of the craziness. And let me tell you, I didn't realize until I'll never forget this, I did this Pride in Pennsylvania. And I'm sitting in the meet and greet, it's me and Akira. And this lady has about $180 worth of my merchandise in her hand. And I said, ooh, she loved me. And she walks up and she said, I don't like you because of this, because of that. I ain't stop her because I'm like, this bitch got my merchandise and she done bought me out. And she up here reading, she done read me. And I'm like, Akira, look at this. And she going in. I let her go in for a whole 5 minutes because I was just too stunned to speak. This lady got out, like, you done bought it. It was in your hand.
Because they love you.
And I said,
when they pick on you, baby, they love you.
Oh, she had let me have it. And when she was done, she's like, you're the first person that ever let me. I said, well, your problems with me are your problems. I don't even know your name. And so that's when my mindset changed. I was like, oh, baby, this is a money game.
Ooh.
Why are you playing into the haters? Like, this is truly a money game. If they hate you, let them hate you, because at the same time, they're hating me, and I'm selling out clubs.
I love it.
So,
Make
still
me
to
more
this day,
popular.
hate me. And this same lady came to New York Drag Con, and to see me, you got to spend $40 in merchandise.
Wow.
And she brought 6 of her family members. And all of them bought at least $40 of merchandise to come back there and see me. And that's when I really realized, like, these haters are really fans. They want any reaction that they can get. That they can get. And I'm like, okay. So 6 people times 4, $40.
Honey.
That's $240 at least.
Just to
For a little
hate.
5-minute interaction.
Oh, hate on. I get you.
Oh,
Fantastic advice.
I had started, I'm the girl you hate, come on and see me. If you notice, like the promotions for All Stars, they was like, anything you want to tell the haters? I said, hate on me early, because I sell out. My website is silkyganache.com. I got a sale right now. Go ahead and get this whole stuff. I had and
Fantastic
All Stars, the
advice.
people come in. And so ever since then, I embraced the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I realized that people dislike me because I'm doing me.
Oh, baby.
I'm truly doing me. Like, I'm living my best life. Yes, I live in a house with my mama right now, but I still pay rent.
Right on, baby. Right on.
But I'm living my best life, and I have a 10-year anniversary show coming up this week, and this is when I had to sit back and say, oh, you made it. because I bought flights for 8 people in the hotel for 8 people. And I said, y'all come to my event. And I said, Silky, you are really doing it. Like, you live in a house with your mama, but you are doing it and you're sharing the love and the wealth with all of them. So, you know, not only do they get my love and my rent on time, they get, they also get, my family get to experience this new love and this new thing. I took my grandmother to Canada, Japan, and Europe beforehand.
Hold that thought and tell us, because this is a beautiful place that we want to hear about that. Let's take a little break and then come back and let's hear these various ways you're sharing love, not only with the family, but all the other places you're sharing it as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That was so
this is
beautiful.
great. I love to give back to the family.
Oh, you got to, honey. If not, they'll tell you about yourself.
They sure will. Lord knows.
So you're talking about living with your mom. Is she a fan of your drag?
She is. Now, growing up, you know, being in the South, it was very, very difficult for them to understand me being gay. But now she's like my biggest cheerleader. And it didn't happen, honestly, until she came to a drag show in Indianapolis and saw me perform, and all my friends surrounded her. We was like at a cafe type restaurant. So they bought her food, got a white girl wasted. And, you know, later on that night, she said, I always was worried.
Ooh.
I know you done heard that for, this is the most perfect cut. For the most
I did it
perfect
for you.
cut of beef.
You see what I'm talking about?
Let me tell you something. Let me see your left hand.
Let your dreams come true with this tiramisu. This popular Italian treat is layers of lady fingers soaked in coffee and brandy, topped off with mascarpone cheese and dusted with cocoa powder.
They say you are what you eat.
Ooh.
I eat a lot of sweets. I got sugar in my tank.
Preach.
Yeah, but my mom, she
was white girl wasted.
she was just like, she was always worried. And from that moment, she came around, like completely turned around and gave the love and the support and everything. So, you know, I'm very close with my family. We went through Hurricane Katrina, so you got to be close with somebody to, you know,
Wow.
learn to wash your body with a bottle of water every day for a while, you know, and to sleep on the floor. So you got to be really close with your family. And it made my family, not only my family, my community grow as well together. So I'm a Hurricane Katrina survivor, as well as a RuPaul's Drag Race survivor. So, you know.
I think what's interesting is it was the resistance to embrace you was because she was worried.
Yes. And I tell people that all the time, like, parents are not perfect. And you can't fault them, especially growing up in a certain age, especially like in the South. But you don't have to always accept what they're saying, but you always have to be a little bit more understanding that they're growing with you. And sometimes, even though it seems like they're growing against you, they're growing with you. I remember I've always had long hair, and I had these braids. And this one time, it's like I had box braids, and my mother flipped out. And she's like, I just can't take this anymore, this, that, and the other. She had completely flipped out on me, like get my hairstyle that way. And, you know, later in life, you know, we have like an understanding, and she's learning more and more each day. And from that experience, one of her friend's daughter became a lesbian while she was in high school, like a junior high school. And the mother would like make her stay in and everything. And it wasn't till years later I found out that my mom's friend told me, your mom had told me that you have to give them love and know that God has protected them. And ever since then, her mom was not as like hard on her.
So
and
your
let her
mother
grow
is
up.
being a counselor to other mothers.
After going through the experience, because
Yes.
she wasn't counseling me originally, but you know.
I always say my mother was just, I said, get over it. Wasn't that bad. And now that I'm wiser, I'm like, you needed a support group. There needs to be a support group for parents.
And I think, no, go ahead.
I was going to pivot. But
Pivot.
Pivot, okay.
Go on a pivot.
Speaking of support groups, I think there should be a support group for Black Republicans.
Okay.
I heard you are a Black Republican.
I'm a Black registered
Okay.
Republican.
Okay.
Because depending on the state that you live in, you have to declare a party. And I declared Republican when I was in Indiana because you had to declare a party. And I did that for multiple reasons. One of the very first reasons is because when you walk in that toll booth in Carmel, Indiana, the #1 city of retirement in the United States where I live, it's lovely for all, the little white ladies. Okay, you're Democratic over there. And I go back and say, I'm Republican. And then they say, oh, come on, baby. Like they open arms and all that. Then I get in that booth and come back out and I be like, bitch, gotcha. Because, in your mind, it's about fighting the systems. And the systems is built against us. And in addition, when I moved to Chicago, this is where gentrification and gerrymandering happened a lot of the times because they'd be like, there's all the Democrats. And then they'll go back in and they'll say, oh, this school is doing bad. And then what happened? 2 years later, the school is remodeled and it's an apartment complex. And all those students got to travel on the bus across town. So it's about...
Wait. Let me make sure that I'm clear. You're a registered Republican, but that is not how you actually vote.
Exactly.
Okay.
Couldn't be no clearer.
I just wanted to be clear.
Cleared it up.
Wow.
And I honestly, I tell Black people to do it all the time. And if you don't believe me, you could talk to Karen Hunter. I don't know if she's a professor by day, also a journalist, and she teaches journalism in New York, and she's often on CNN and all of that. But she talks about it. She calls it the Party of Lincoln. So she tells Black people to go in, register Republican, to kind of take away the system biases.
Wow.
And so that's how you do it. And I remember listening to her every day at 3 o'clock. That's when her show was on Sirius XM. And she does that on the Urban View. And that her ideal of that is very, very true. If a lot of us, especially as Black people, go in and say that we're a registered Republican, a lot of laws, because when politicians are looking to reroute and redo things, they're not looking at the individual or the demographics of age. They're looking at party lines. Then they're going to look at how well you're doing. They're going to look at money. So it becomes like a economic affair then. So they first looking at your party, economic affair, and then they're making decisions. So we have to, as Black people, get a step ahead. And I think this is just a step ahead. A lot of people didn't understand where I was coming from, but just get a step ahead of your politicians.
I love it. So that now,
Love.
so that
Let's talk about
exactly,
love.
since you have kind of switched things up politically, which I absolutely love. How are you finding love in your personal life, in your intimacy? What do you look for?
There's intimacy in my personal life?
Is there not?
Oh, well, I was asking a question because I ain't got no.
I'm asking a question.
No, being on RuPaul's Drag Race is hard to date because, now, the last guy actually dated, quote unquote, stated to me, the things that I got going on here ain't really happening. I'm trying to get to another level. So they using me as a step up. And I can't be your step up, baby.
No.
I need you to match me.
Right on.
Or be above me, knowing that I ain't trying to marry you for money. I'm a Southern woman. I ain't looking at your money. I'm looking at
So you
other
want
things.
married?
I want to be married. I want to be married, and I want to be married soon because I want children. And I want twin girls, and I always say that they was going to be Miss America and Miss USA.
Oh.
I'm going to raise them to be
I
that.
can so see that.
Oh, I can
And
see it.
they're going to have the best gowns, believe that.
Oh.
And the best talent, too. We're going to win this.
Oh, I love it.
And we're going to do that. And I want
Are
that.
you going to adopt children or what?
Too much talent, baby, to let it go to waste. I want a surrogate mother.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like as a Black
from the
queer
South, would
person
you want that
from the
mother
South,
from the South?
it don't matter, honey, as long as she gonna treat my baby right and don't smoke with her on the pregnancy.
Right. Right.
I don't know. I just want funny story. My mother. This is how I know that things turned around during COVID when I was living in LA still. Every day, my mother and I, and like families, we would get on the chat like a video call, and we would have drinks and we would talk. This one particular night, my mother had got twisted. And she had said to me, I'm gonna be your surrogate mother. And I'm like, I said, oh, she is drunk, but I'm living for it. So I was like, this is a whole nother acceptance that I have to hear, and I got to play with this. I was like, Mother, how's that gonna happen? She said, I'm gonna take your man's sperm and I'm gonna use your eggs. And I said, oh, Mother, we got to stop this. You got to put the bottle away.
That's so sweet.
It's really sweet, you know.
These conversations always have to come to a close.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, you can still eat.
No, I want you to get this good food on the camera.
We want to know how it
Zoom in, baby.
I love you.
Oh my God! Thank you for that.
No other.
You know, I had to do that.
It's so good having
I'm
you.
trying to get a husband, honey.
You know what? Get the recipe. We'll have it online.
We
Well,
love
Silky,
you, baby.
We thank you so much for coming, and we'd like to let you know that once you come to the house, you're always what? Family.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Come back. Come back to the
You want me
house.
back?
You better believe it.
I come back. I'll be waiting on my call.
And you better know how to make this. You don't have the
Tiramisu?
rest- Yes,
You got the lady fingers at the bottom. You got the tiramisu cream. You got at the top. You got Kahlua, the sofa.
Now you have
Baby, I'm a cook. I got a cookbook coming out. Cookbook coming out this year. Silky recipes of ganaches will be out this year. And Cocktails for a Queen Part 2 is coming out.
Okay.
Get my books only at silkyganache.com because I own all the rights to my stuff.
And we're proud of you for that, baby.
And there the recipes go.
Proud of you for that.
Silky Ganache.
Love it.
What a delight.